Welcome to the JAMODI podcast, where we interview coaches and leaders to find out not just what they do, but how they do what they do. Becoming the best version of ourselves is JAMODI, just a matter of doing it. What is your favorite shooting game or drill?
Oh gosh,
There's so many, but if you could choose one that we only have this amount of time, this is our go-to.
Gotcha. I mean, oh, that's a good one. I mean, well, we do one, and at our practice last night, we had a college coach. This is fresh in mind because college coach that was there watching was like, man, I'm going to take this one and do it. And we've been doing it now for 5 years. I think it's nothing groundbreaking, but so we track threes. And so throughout the spring of our travel ball, and it's called 25. So you shoot 25 threes. You have a minute 45, one ball, one partner, and you have a minute. I think I already said you have a minute 45 to get it off. And we do it every practice, sometimes twice a practice. Then we track so they have 3 months worth of these shots, and it bleeds into our green light shooting system. So we say you got to be a 70% plus. This is for our 17U team, 70% plus 25 in this 25 drill shooter to be a green light. 60 to 69 is a yellow. And if you're below 60, 59 or lower, you're a red. And the idea is a couple things. And I'll unpack it in a second. Well, let me go ahead and unpack it, and then I'll tell you the why behind it. So 5 spots, 5 shots. 5 corner, wing, top, wing, corner, work your way around. And there's some intended consequence, not unintended. These are intended consequences from it. Rebounder, we got 3 focuses. You got to have great hustle. That means don't let the ball hit the floor. Grab it out of the net, grab it off the rim. Be a great passer. Work on your weak hand passing. Number 3, be a great communicator. Encourage them through it. And then shooter, you better be shot ready. And when you only have a minute 45, if you're not shot ready and your rebounder is not working, you're not going to get them all off. It just won't happen. And then the really big picture, global viewpoint on it that we want is to be a great, in today's game, I mean, you're like the walking billboard of 3-point shooting, but is like, you can elevate your status on a team and elevate your ability to play at another level, middle school to high school to college, college to pro, if you're an elite shooter.
Yep.
And we all have 100% control of being an elite shooter. I don't have 100% control being an elite above the rim dunker. I don't have 100% control over my size and speed. Okay, I can improve those things. All right, so what do we want here? We want a player to know where they're at, because where you're trying to get to, you got to know where you're at first. And then 2, if they're a red light shooter, say they're a 54% shooter, and they're like, man, coach, I want to shoot in games. Well, they can go to their high school gym or their driveway and get up shots. We let them record on their phone, and they can send in their 100 threes or 200 threes and start working their way. We really want to inspire them to do more work on their own.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a really long answer, but
no, it's good.
That's probably one of them.
I really like that. We do the green, yellow, red drill is the 4 minutes, 90 shots with 3 guys and 2 balls, 2 rebounders. But the problem with, so it like you said before, it gives us, 45 and above. That's our green lights. And, we do it over, 10 to 20 times throughout the season. The only problem with that game is that it's
12-minute
15 minutes, because you give them a little bit of time in between. You're right. But I love that because you get a similar outcome from your game, but it's much shorter. And also you only have to have 2 partners or 2 people in a group. So I think I'm going to steal that. And because it goes right along with, everybody should have some. It also helps with role identification. You start to yell out your results in front of everybody over time. He keeps saying 60 or above. I keep saying 30. In a game, do we really have to talk about if I'm kind of open, but he's really open, where should that one more go? So it helps with that too.
Well, yeah, that I didn't mention that the shot selection. It essentially teaches shot selection, and instead, like I think I think shot selection is one of the, if not the number one component to winning and losing. What type of shots do we get? What type of shots do we give up? So we often in practice, well, a guy will shoot it and we'll say, was that an average shot, good shot, or great shot? And we want to oftentimes great shot. Good shot will happen sometimes, but when it's average, and that's the power of the question. You ask them and they start, and I think what also is important about shot selection, and tell me if you agree with this. Bad shots destroy team chemistry and culture.
Like, no doubt. Morale. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. There's nothing more and when a guy keeps taking bad shots and a coach doesn't correct it or sub them out, whatever, like you can lose your team.
Yeah.
Like guys stop running back in transit. You'll see it at the end of an NBA season. Watch a bad team play. And there's so many bad shots because they're like hunting stats and individual stuff on bad teams in the NBA, and the season's over. And you see the worst morale, the
body
worst
language. Yeah. I think too that the way that you say that asking them the question of what it is, that's huge too, because it protects their confidence a little bit more. I think one of the worst things as coaches we can yell at a kid is, that's a bad shot. Like, yes, is it a shot that you want as your team? No, but is there a different way to communicate with them? Because shot selection is probably the most personal thing to every player. Like, hey, coach, don't tell me that's a bad shot. You haven't seen me. Like, yes, as coaches we have, and we know, and the whole team knows, but I think that's a great way to protect their confidence by asking them that question, and not even in front of everybody, maybe more in a whisper, one-on-one, close to them.
Yeah. I think I do agree with that. I would, and I'm not saying you don't do it, I would push back a little bit and say too, I want the team, like if I'm coaching fourth graders, I'm going to be a little more, if I'm coaching a 17U team, I want the other players to know, I want us to all be on the same page. So I do like to have a team conversation about it daily.
Yeah. I don't think there's anything wrong with that at all. Yeah. Thank you for checking out today's episode. Please take a moment to subscribe to this podcast, share it with your fellow coaches, and find us on social media for what's coming up next on the JAMODI podcast. It's just a matter of doing it.